The world is not doing all right, ladies and gentlemen. That's all it is. The world is not doing all right. And I'm afraid to tell you that things are most likely going to not get better, but as a matter of fact, most likely get worse. So just gear up for that. Anyway, that's it. It's official. Congress is certifying Donald Trump's election victory. As you guys know, this is not necessarily something that people were aware of that the American government does until the Republicans decided this was a pivotal moment to strike. I was the only protester outside Congress. Where was everyone? Let's be really real. Liberals are not resisting the Trump administration. They're not. Liberals are too busy, both in the halls of Congress and outside, clapping at the normalization of Donald Trump and the Republican Party, and also simultaneously celebrating how good they are at normalizing people like Trump. My point is, we're done. It's over. The American Reich is here. Okay, some might say it's always been here. America KKK style. Maoist standard English speakers rejoice. You were right all along. That's where we're at. And I mean, look at the liberals celebrating how wonderful they are, celebrating how they preserve these institutions, unlike the silly Republicans.
Of the House and Senate are gathering in what is there, and there is the Speaker Mike Johnson and Vice President Kamala Harris. It's obviously a bipartisan or even nonpartisan event where the leaders of this country come together to count the electoral votes. There's Ted Cruz, a senator from Texas, who was one of the main individuals who helped cause what happened 4 years ago. There's Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries with Catherine Clark, his number two.
Pursuant to the Constitution and laws of the United States, the Senate and House of Representatives are meeting in joint session to...
I'll be honest, it does kind of feel like maybe they didn't think Donald Trump was Hitler. Of course, this doesn't reflect my opinion on the matter. But it kind of feels like they didn't have any issues with Donald Trump's policies, and they certainly didn't have any issues with Donald Trump either. And they don't have an issue with the Republican Party either. They went from this is not normal to maybe this should be normal, and this way it'll be fine. And for the record, it's really interesting because you see media coverage on Trump's inauguration, and a lot of people in the media are talking about how crazy it is that Google and Facebook and Jeff Bezos, they're all giving millions of dollars to Trump's inauguration funds. And it's not that weird. If the elites have decided this is the way, if the elites have decided that Trump is just the Republican Party, and this is just how the Republicans are, and we just got to play ball with the Republicans, then yeah, it's not newsworthy, or it wouldn't have been newsworthy in the same way if, companies gave money to the George W. Bush inauguration. To me, it just shows that everyone in America is ready to play ball. All of our elites are ready to play ball. Trump, Teflon Don, he did the dang thing. He did it. He knew that he would face legal scrutiny, chose to fight against it by running for office again, successfully won the election, and now we're in his court. And the Democrats are, I think, totally willing to stand back and stand by. What is this? Jesus Christ, I've been giving money to this man for 29 months. Is today when they certify President Musk? Yes.
Verify the certificates and count the votes of the electors of the several states for President and Vice President of the United States. After ascertainment has been had that the certificates are authentic and correct in form, the tellers will count and make a list of the votes cast by the electors of the several states. The tellers on the part of the two houses will take their places at the clerk's desk.
I just think it's so important to reflect on what we are seeing right now. We talked at the beginning about this complex being...
I want to know what Blue Anon is going to do now. I am at a loss for words here. I'm a little confused. Mamala was going to strike while the iron was hot. What's happening? Perhaps that they actually infiltrated Mamala because she was fighting against the deep state. And this is a clone. That's right. I think Mamala is a clone. A crowd of hundreds, if not 1,000, showed up to Meridian Hill, Malcolm X Park, for today's community snow fight in D.C. There it is. And what's funny is they'll also talk about how like sweet it is. Like they'll talk about how great it is that like, you know, look at us. We're adults, unlike those Republicans. And there's truth to that. Yes, liberals will not you know, throw their hands up and try to resist or do something about the situation. But then they'll also say, look at that. That's actually a virtue. It's actually a virtue that we are not even resisting the Trump administration after we said he was a Nazi. I still think he is, for the record. Only time will show how much of a Nazi he is, but
being fortified, but it's being fortified
Action.
despite the fact that this is peaceful.
Without objection, the tellers will dispense with reading formal portions of the certificates. After ascertaining that the certificates are regular in form and authentic, the tellers will announce the votes cast by the electors.
a liberal election would have looked very different. We would have escorted the original Broadway cast of Hamilton into the galleries. They would softly sing "History Has Its Eyes on You" as members of the GOP spewed their lies. Yeah, we would do woke gender as well. We would also only tactically snap, no clapping, just snapping. Broadway musical, jazz hands. We would do a land acknowledgement. We'd have to put marginalized people on a single file line, put them in the front lines, you know, and of course, mandatory drag.
For each state, beginning with Alabama.
President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Alabama seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the
ensuring that we secure enough funds to give to Israel. Another $8 billion to Israel, to be exact, which is what Joe Biden is doing. We would cherish that, and we would celebrate him for doing that.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral
Basically what's happening right now, the
vote of state
tellers
of
alternate
California
reporting on the
seems to be
authenticity
regular in
and the
form
I think it's so funny. This is yet another testament to the reality that Donald Trump has dramatically changed American norms, American institutions, American politics, and reshaped it in his own image. Nobody before January 6, 2021 ever cared about January 6th. That was not like a media moment. Now, this is also a unique moment where, see, the American Congress has gotten together to certify the vote counts. It's like, this is just purely symbolic. This is the type of thing that like nobody really cared about. It's just super basic stuff in Congress that happens that you normally are supposed to not even know about. No one needs to know that this is a thing. No one is supposed to watch this in real time. This is it's not even PBS material. This is C-SPAN. This gets in the past, this got like 35 views on C-SPAN. Of course it's boring. It's so stupid. It's like putting a camera in front of a guy who's just like literally rubber stamping stuff at the FDA every day or something. Like it's just like, what? It is incredibly boring procedural stuff. And I think part of the reason why we're hyper focusing on this is to basically repeat a lie that things are normal. Okay? That's it. Things are not normal. And things are not normal. But everyone, the fourth estate, is desperately trying to be like, no. I promise you things are normal. Look at how normal this bureaucratic process is. Everything is fine. Please don't freak out. Meanwhile, Justin Trudeau, in America's hat, Canada, resigned. Part of the reason why he resigned is because he was deeply unpopular. Okay. Part of the reason why he was deeply unpopular played a role in the same struggles that Americans are facing as well, where a lot of people have decided that immigrants are the reason why the housing market is out of control. America's other ally, South Korea, experienced a martial law initiative. The president was deposed, and now they're going after him, but they can't even issue an arrest warrant because he's protecting himself with his own Secret Service. America's not saying anything about that either because it's weird. You have war everywhere. The things are just not normal. Things are not normal at all. And it seems like leadership at the helm is more invested in maintaining neoliberalism as the way to go, this like ideological zealotry, rather than try to actually fix some of these problems. And people are getting more and more frustrated, and right-wingers are just winning. They're winning all over. They're winning all over the world where people have not changed. People have not changed their politics at all.